meeting to order. Have roll call.
John Carter.
Here.
Mike Steiner.
Here.
Rodney Fischler.
Here.
Now call to order the Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Ryan Stram.
Here.
Troy Smirchnoff.
Nope.
Kent Lechner.
Here.
Alan Lansberg.
Here.
Linda Smirchnoff here.
Okay, we've got discussion, disclosure of conflicts of interest today.
My name is Eileen Brownlee. I'm the attorney for the town of Bridgeport. Just to talk a little bit about what we're going to be asking for here, there is of course litigation pending between the town and various parties, shall we say. The court, in the person of Judge Day, has requested that, or has ordered actually, that the town board members or plan commission members who are alleged as part of these proceedings to have a conflict of interest describe either their family relationship or their business relationship with Pattison Sand. There is an allegation that there are some conflicts of interest, and so the court had asked that the record be supplemented and developed for the purpose of determining whether or not those individuals do or do not have a conflict of interest. We do have a court reporter present, and so I appreciate the fact that everybody is listening, and it's going to be very helpful if only one person speaks at a time, because otherwise it gets to be very distracting. And when the plan commission members or town board members speak, it would also be very helpful if you would state your name and spell the last name at least the first time that you speak, to ensure that the record that is being made is correct. The first allegation of a conflict of interest pertains to Mr. Marfilius. Is he here? Hi there. Mr. Marfilius, you were on the town board in March of 2013.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm not going to do a direct examination, but can you describe what your participation was as a member of the town board in deliberating, discussing, or acting on the conditional use application submitted by Pattison Sand?
I abstain from every discussion.
And what about voting?
Did not abstain.
Why did you choose to not vote or to discuss the matter?
Because if I did, that would have been a conflict of interest.
Anything else you want to add? The next conflict of interest that is alleged, it's all the down goes further to the Plan Commission, is to Linda Smirchnoff. Linda, you were a Plan Commission member in March of 2013 and prior to that?
Yes.
Do you have any family relationships that are associated with Pattison Sand?
My son-in-law works for Pattison. He had been with them over a year before any of this started. He does not reside in my household. He has his own household. There's no, he doesn't support me and I don't support him.
Do you support, you said he's your son-in-law, do you provide any support for your daughter or grandchildren?
No.
And what involvement did you have as a member of the Plan Commission in the discussion or the decision to issue the conditional use permit to Pattison Sand?
I was involved in discussion and voting both.
Is there anything about your relationship with your son-in-law or your daughter that caused you to think you might have a conflict or that would have influenced you in making the decision that you made?
No.
Next, I think we have Troy Smersina. Troy, you-
Right, I'm right under.
you were a member of the Plan Commission in March 2013, prior to that.
Correct.
And do you have a family member associated with Pattison Sand?
My brother-in-law works for Pattison Sand, yes.
And what is your relationship with your brother-in-law and your sister?
I know, one's my sister and my brother-in-law. So.
Is there any,
Do they live with me? No. I don't live with them. No.
do you,
They've got their own property.
okay. Do you support them or do they support you?
No.
Any mutual financial dealings with them?
No.
Is there anything about your relationship with your sister and brother-in-law that might have influenced you when you were participating in the discussions and the votes related to Pattison Sand's conditional use permit application?
No. He's been working there a couple of years. No, that didn't even cross my mind.
And then Mr. Flansburgh. You were a member of the Plan Commission in August of 2013?
No,
Do you remember when that might have been?
was it August? Okay.
Well, was it or wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what issue came up before the Plan Commission in 2013 that the Plan Commission would have discussed?
The only thing that came up was about planting trees around the sand mine.
And were you at the meeting where that was discussed?
Yeah.
And did the Plan Commission take any action related to however that discussion came up?
They just tabled it.
Excuse me, they what?
Tabled it.
Tabled what?
That is, to not to do anything right away.
To not require tree planting right away?
Yeah.
And did you vote on that?
Yep.
Do you have a business relationship with Pattison?
No.
Do you have any kind of agreements with Pattison?
Confidentiality agreement is all we have.
And, okay, so you have a confidentiality agreement, do you have any other kind of agreement?
No.
Okay. Was there anything about your business relationships with Pattison that affected your part in the discussion or the decision to table the requirement that trees be planted?
No.
Does any of the town board members or the Plan Commission members have any questions relating to that information that was just provided by the members, Mr. Flansburgh, Mr. Smersina, Ms. Smersina, and Mr. Murphy-Lees? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. The next issue that the court required both of the Plan Commission and the town board to address is the issue of the meeting spaces that were available at the time that public hearings were held and at the time that meetings were held pertaining to the issuance of the conditional use permit to Pattison. And one of the things that the judge asked to be fleshed out, and I think any town board member or plan commission member maybe can speak to this, is what is the capacity of the town hall? I mean, how many people can fit into the town hall, or I suppose the kitchen area, however that's described, of the town hall at any given point?
I don't know, it never came up.
Just a rumor, I thought it was like around 50 or less, somewhere,
Some of them were at 52, some like that. I know we can't have anymore because we had to change, one meeting that was over country on the river had an effect, so our fire chief said that we could not have any more than that in the facility as far as that goes. So that was basically the norm of it, so.
Okay, so that would be the legal limit or the fire code limit?
Right.
And that would be 52 people counting, I suppose.
Board, yep, everybody.
Counting the board, the participants in the hearing, spectators, okay. There have been, again, some concerns expressed that some people who attended or tried to attend meetings both in November of 2012 and in March of 2013 were unable to get into the meetings. Are you aware of any person, has anybody come to you individually or collectively, other than I guess through the litigation itself, and said, I didn't have an opportunity to hear what was going on, I didn't have an opportunity to speak, although I wanted to speak? Has anything like that arisen since, since those meetings were held?
No, I've had nobody approached me at all. And at that time, some of the meetings we had room up by our table, the county, our board, and we had chairs and you can sit up here. There was ones that didn't want to sit up there. So there were spaces to be had, but they did not want to sit there. Whether it was because we were there, I don't really care, but this is a way for them to be able to be there. But I've never heard since then, since back in 13, 14, anybody come up and say anything about it, that they didn't have a chance to be able to say. Be there inside the building, be able to voice their opinion, or at least be able to hear the opinions of anybody else.
Well, I was there, and I can't remember, it was the 13th or 14th one of the meetings, and it was packed. A lot of people in there, and I got kind of stuck in the vestibule area, and I did hear some people back there, and I don't remember the fellas, you'd have to look at the YouTube videos and all this stuff, but yeah, it was so crowded, and yeah, there was some room up front, but at the same time, the building was so crowded, overloaded with people.
But did anybody complain to you specifically, Ron, that they couldn't get in?
Like I said, I don't remember, I remember having conversations, but I just can't picture the faces offhand right now.
Okay.
And I have to, look at the YouTube videos and see me in the back. And,
YouTube videos are new evidentiary adventures, but we'll take care of that, I guess. As far as the Plan Commission is concerned, same issue. Do you recall anybody coming to you after one of your meetings or during one of the meetings saying, I couldn't get in, or I was unable to participate meaningfully in the meeting, or hear what was going on?
I never had an individual contact me or speak to me after a meeting, or that they were unable to speak. We did have one meeting down here at the fire station to accommodate for the crowd issue. It's certainly hard, I guess, as far as the Plan Commission goes. It's certainly a challenge to determine how many folks are gonna are going to come to the meeting.
A lot of that kind of happened during the meeting. You know, at times people would speak up like during a meeting, because they really wanted to get a message out, but, you know, that kind of.
Because the board prevented them from doing that?
At some points, yeah, you know, but like I said, it was kind of shut down.
Okay. When you say shut down, you mean that they were told?
Well, let me kind of, in their defense, when I used to work for the city, when we'd have meetings, we would have, you know, that closed session where you can deal with issues, and that was one of the things when they were going through the, excuse me, when they were going through the process, there was no closed session at all in the meetings. And I can understand the point, with a lot of people in the room, it's hard to really get down in the nitty-gritty of the stuff, but I don't know, since then, we've been having some closed sessions, which is great. You can get into the nitty-gritty of things without being distracted, you know, and you know, at the time, I wish there was a closed session, so, you know, they can hash out the issues and go from there.
Well.
Sometimes it didn't happen.
Okay. The other component that the judge's order contained was that if anyone was barred or prevented from coming into the meeting room because of the lack of space, or was not given or afforded an opportunity to speak as a result of that, that any person who was in that position who wants to submit written comments to the Planning Commission and to the board can do so. Is there anyone that has written comments that they would like to submit for the board or the Planning Commission's consideration?
Yes. For the record, my name is Glenn Reynolds, and there are written comments we're making. We don't, because of the short notice we don't have copies for everyone. We have I believe four or perhaps a few more copies that are coming. And we can submit those to the board. We only have 4 at the most, so there are 10 of you. It's going to take us a little time to make 10 copies, if that's your pleasure.
Well, do you have 1 copy to start with?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We have one. Okay, there are more coming. These are 3 comments. But I need to also speak to the issue of how these comments came together and the limitations on our ability to give the benefit to board members all the comments from the citizens. These are your folks. We only got 1 day notice of this hearing, and we're requesting, on behalf of the plaintiffs in this case, that you adjourn the hearing and take time to consider the comments that your constituents have. This is a very important proceeding. This community is divided over this issue of mining, and I think it's essential for the elected representatives to give it a fair shake. So I have a letter that I've written to the town board and to your lawyers. I'm requesting that that you take a look at it and honor a request for a continuance while you deliberate. With all due respect to the former board members and the commission members who've spoken on a conflict of interest, I realize that you're laymen, you're not lawyers, and there's some other questions I think that would help the court to decide whether there was a conflict or not. Now, I can't ask you questions, but other board members or other commission members can ask questions of yourselves so that you can convey to your public that, that this process and your decision-making as elected representatives is sound, without conflicts. So I have submitted a list of questions that I would like all of you to look at, the ones that spoke and others, and consider asking yourselves those questions or having other people ask those questions on your behalf. There's a copy for each board member. And we have additional comments. I'm not sure what I have here. Are these,
For the record, my name is Peter Conrad, and I'm an attorney for Madison.
Okay.
And for the record, we object to the board receiving any information that goes beyond the scope of the court's order. We would note that this is a certiorari proceeding, and the certiorari review is based on the record that was previously created. This is not a discovery type of proceeding. And we would further note that the scope of the court's order that we are here for today is very limited in nature. And it is very specific as to what the board is to be considering, all of which your town attorney has walked you through quite eloquently. And to the extent any written submissions are provided, the court's order is very specific. It says written submissions by any persons claiming to have been physically excluded from any prior board/commission proceedings on the mine issue. So the written submissions, according to the court's order, are simply regarding being physically excluded. That is the limitation on that order, and as I pointed out, this is a certiorari proceeding, which is limited to the previous record. This is not a discovery matter.
I mean, we're done during the arguments as of right now.
Thank you.
all right, and I have three or four more comments and questions, and for these individuals to comply with the court order. If we had more time, more than one day to prepare for this, I think we would be able to give you the information that you needed in a more expeditious manner. But with only 1 day preparation, this is the best we could do. So I'm asking that you consider those comments and the questions that I've raised and deliberate at your leisure, but continue this so this can be a fair proceeding for the folks who rely on your decisions. Thank you.
Do I have Tim and I just take a couple of minutes to chat?
Please. Sure.
Outside's good.
Mr. Conrad, oh, no, that's pretty good. I think I should get you.
Hi, Tara.
I know, I'm just. Great, I will take on you, put it on your house.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, but I just have to live down here, so.
Nice place to live.
Yeah, it's
Important place.
I know. It is. Thanks.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. It is fair that the board and the plan commission have an opportunity to review these written submissions, which is pretty important to me right now. So I'm gonna make a record of the written submissions that have been made. We will make copies for the board and for the plan commission, and then we will reconvene this meeting at some future date, not too far down the road. Okay? So the written submissions, and I'm going to have these, if you don't mind, marked as exhibits so that we do this right.
Throwing me for a loop here. Do you want
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What's the idea of physically restrained?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I was just asking Eileen what the idea of physically restrained meant. As far as not being able to be in the building, is it someone stopping you from coming into the building?
I think it depends on context. I think being restrained could be a number of different things. It could be being physically restrained, in other words, barred by somebody, preventing you from coming in. It might be a handicap accessibility issue. It might be, you know, just a capacity issue where you would be barred essentially from coming in. So I think it could mean a number of different things depending on the context.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, there are actually 8 documents here. One is a letter, it's a series of pages from, if I mispronounce something, please forgive me, from Larry Follier, I believe that's spelled F-O-L-Y-E-R. That's been marked as Exhibit 1. There is a second document from Mark Fischler, F-I-S-H-L-E-R, that's Exhibit 2. There is another document marked Exhibit 3, dated May 15th, 2014, that is also from Mr. Fischler. There is a document entitled Narrative to Bridgeport Town Board and Planning Commission that's been marked as Exhibit 4 from Arnie and Irene Steele. There is a typewritten document to the Board and Plan Commission from Daniel Linder, dated May 15th, 2014. There is a document entitled Questions for Town Board and Planning Committee, dated today from Lauren Fischler. There is a memo dated today from Kathy Byrne of the Crawford Stewardship Project. And then there is the list of questions that Glenn presented, or Mr. Reynolds presented earlier. So what we will do is we will make copies of all of this. They are, as of right now, public records. If people want to make public records requests for them, they can do so. I don't know what does the town charge anything for public records, like 25 cents a page or something like that. Okay. And then after the, you know, relevant board members and plan commission members have had an opportunity to review all of that, they can. We also received a letter from Mr. Reynolds, and I will give a copy of that to you. I think there is also a letter that I don't think you have received yet. When did that go out? There was one from Patterson's yesterday. Okay, so there'll be another letter there for whatever use you care to make of those. And then we will come back. Okay?
At a later date.
At a later date, but like I said, not much later. There isn't a whole lot of material here. And one of the things that the judge asked the Plan Commission, and really it will be both former Plan Commission and former board members who are participating in this, you know, that whether or not any of the information that is submitted here would have impacted your decision at the time. And so that would be the, you know, really the question that you will have to answer. Okay?
Just for the record, during our break here, Greg Webster has accused me of perjury regarding the question that not all residents got or individuals got to comment during our hearings or meetings. He claimed that after a meeting he discussed with me that people weren't able to talk, and I don't recall that.
That's very true.
That is true. One meeting we got told.
All right, I think we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion. Council, before you adjourn, there's one letter that got omitted from the packet, if you could consider that as one.
Oh, sure.
Appreciate it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Since he brought my name up, can I I didn't accuse. What I said was if this would have been a court hearing, you would have just performed perjury.
And we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then we have Exhibit 9, which is a letter dated May 15th, 2014, from Edie Ellert of the Crawford Stewardship Project. And that will be included in the packet of materials that all of you received.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We got a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Not to be the same thing from the, oh, I'm sorry.
Motion carried.
Same thing from the Plan Commission. Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded. During the meeting, all in favor, say aye. Aye.